Alright guys, welcome back to the video game plot summary of Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, or Re-Reckoning, or whatever. This time we're going to do one of the faction stories, which is the House of Ballads. Now this one starts up when Alan Shear tells Luana to go with the codex that she found and talk to one of the Fae in the council. You remember he tried it out and then saw that something was wrong with fate and then didn't believe that Luana had fate because he didn't want to talk to the king. Yeah, that was the thing. So this starts right when that happens. You guys ready? Let's do this. Upon Alan Shear's request to find out about the codex, Luana goes to the House of Ballads and finds Fae people gathered around Hallam the White. One of the council members, Sir Sagrel, just died.
Sagrel, slayer of Ozigan, defender of the crown of Haxi, has been defeated. A death in the House of Ballads gives an opportunity, a chance for one hero to join the ranks of the greatest champions in Fae-telling. Olaine, Kreth, Wenson the Bold. Do any of you, have the courage to pass the confirmation? If you do, your adventures will be sung to the heavens for all eternity.
So he's looking for the next hero to take Sagrel's place. Luana steps up and he's like,
You are bold, but that is not how tales are told in the House of Ballads. Only a worthy Fae hero may finish his quest, complete his story. However, these are strange times. Magic weaves itself in new patterns and change. It is the one thing with which we Fae have no experience. If you so choose, join the other pledges. You too may attempt to defeat the Grave Thresh, recover Sagrel's ring, and take his seat in the House of Ballads.
which surprises me because Luana isn't Fae, but that's fine. So the House of Ballads is basically a council of heroes that know their fate already. The ballads have already been written. Because the Fae are immortal and can tell the future, everyone in the council knows their fate, and it's their job to follow through with the stories. But because Luana has no fate, and keeps running around Amalur affecting everyone else's fate, the Fae are a little thrown out of whack. I like this premise. So Luana joins a group of other hopefuls to kill the Grave Thresh monster that killed Sagrel. Whoever comes back with Sagrel's signet ring will be inducted into the House of Ballads. So Luana heads to the cave, and there is a pledge there that says a human can't join the council, but she can come along.
First that strange maiden, now this. What is it you want here in Gorgoath? Alas, Sagrel's is a twisted tale, and we could use every available hand. You may stay, but the seat will never be filled by a mortal. Of that I am certain. We were too late to catch the thresh as it fed. Now the beast slumbers guarded by the vines and weeds of Gorgoath.
The two wander through the cave and kill the Grave Thresh. Come on, Grave Thresh guy. And wander some more and find the dead Sir Sagrel.
How can this be? Sir Sagrel dead? I do not understand. Such a tragedy has never occurred in this song. Not in all the seasons of the telling. At the end of this ballad, Sagrel defeats the Grave Thresh. He is victorious. I don't know how, but someone has changed the song of Sir Sagrel.
Let me just get this clear, okay? When they're talking about ballads, they're really talking about ballads, you know, like songs that people play, you know, like rock ballads or like, I will always love you, you know, that stuff. That's the ballads they're referring to. So some dude with a little mandolin steps out there, sings a ballad, and everybody remembers these ballads. And that's why it's the House of Ballads. They just do what the song says, you know. Okay, let's move along. Just then, more thrushes pop out, and they all receive the same fate as the first one, but the pledge dies immediately. You killed my boy. Oh well, Luana takes the ring back to Harlem and earns the membership in the Court of Enchantments.
You are granted the seat of Sir Sagrel and all privileges hereto, including membership in the Court of Enchantments. Alas, there is no time for celebration. There has been another incident. The king has asked for you.
And Harlem gives her a potion to revive Sir Ferrara. I could have asked for more information then and there, but whatever. The king tells Luana that Sir Ferrara's song is the Ballad of Bloody Bones, where a dude named Bloody Bones comes to take a mistress and Ferrara stops him. We all gotta do our part in this song, apparently. And since Sagrel isn't here, Luana has to play his part. Luana heads to the cave and Ferrara meets her. Talk to me.
Mortal, is this Wenson's idea of humor? Well, you look hardy enough. Won't botch the tale of Bloody Bones too badly, I suppose.
He is really confused because Bloody Bones was just supposed to take a maiden.
Instead of spiriting away a young mortal maiden, he took an entire camp. Men, women, children. It's mad, and certainly not part of the tale.
I mean, he took a whole town hostage. No respect for the song. Now Ferrara is really confused because he doesn't know the future, and now they gotta free a bunch of maidens. They free the prisoners and find Bloody Bones, who is another Fae, of course. Bones thinks that he is the one that disrupted fate and tries to recruit Luana, whom he thinks is Sagrel because of the song.
You, new knight, leave now, forsaking the last prisoners, and I will share with you my knowledge. How I came to change things. Stay, and you'll have nothing but corpses.
And of course, Luana tells him to stuff it, and all three of them start fighting. Ferrara gets killed and Luana revives him. He could have tried to stay alive and win, you know.
Well done, Sagrel. You have proven yourself worthy of the name.
They go back and report to the king. The king is all bothered because the foretold future didn't happen, so he sends Luana to a librarian named Tenwa to get another ballad and bring it to him. In Tenwa's cottage, Luana finds her trapped in a force field.
Welcome. Do come in. You must forgive my lack of hospitality. The Maid of Windermere and her minions have left me in a bit of a situation.
The Maid of Windermere came through and stole her books, including the ballad Luana needs. Luana heads from there and goes to the cave where the Maid of Windermere has been located. She ran to Sir Aramir and Sir Kreth.
Welcome to Sunder Caverns. If you've come in search of the Maid of Windermere, I must disappoint you. She's nowhere to be found. You too? Well, I managed to find one, but there are plenty more. The maid had them. She was here one moment, but gone the next, as is her way. She did leave behind her old ally, Nyx the Troll, to give us a bit of trouble and slow our pursuit.
No maid, just a troll guarding the books named Nyx. While Luana runs through the cave, she finds a bunch of cairns that Lady Windermere had left behind. Oddly enough, the cairns that she collects tell the exact story that Sir Kreth and Sir Aramir are supposed to be playing right at that moment. 2 knights and a troll. Unfortunately, Luana is there, so anything can happen. Pretty soon they run into Nyx.
Come on, Nyx. Gotta get there. Got it.
wasn't so terrible now, was it? Still, I'm baffled as to why Nyx was outside Sunder Caverns. It was surely not to play his part in the coming ballad.
Once that is done, Sir Aramir complains that this is not how the ballad was supposed to go, and all of them head back to the House of Ballads. Back at Tinwa's, she tells Luana to use the Echo Stone to break the enchantment and listen to the cairns, or stories, that have the words in them that will free her. Luana does just that and reads a story about Sir Aramir and Sir Kreth fighting Nyx. But at the end, the two knights let Nyx go. In reality, Luana stepped in and put a spear in Nyx's head.
After he had won, Lord Kreth said to Nyx, with a mind to ease and a will to fix, "You are a troll, and that is good, my friend. You have no faults, no wrong to mend. But if it be your wish to join their kind, a better way you must find. There is naught wrong with following your will, as long as it does not bring others ill."
Oh well. So Luana goes back to Tinwa and recites the words to release the spell. Tinwa tells Luana that Lady Windermere possesses the most important song they have, The Hero and the Maid, and that she plans to use magic to change the song, give it a good old remix.
If its story changes, we are all at risk. You must warn the House of Ballads. Time is running out for all of us.
So Luana heads back to Winson, but when she gets to the throne, surprise, bitch! It's Windermere herself!
You may search the Empire 10 times over, but you will not find your beloved Winson, nor his foolish Court of Enchantments. They, like you, are mine. Dream of me, lovely, for we shall be together soon. The time is coming.
Sounds like she's quite taken by Luana. She's a little too controlling for my taste. I mean, I usually draw the line at people being bossy and bullying me around. This whole forcefully changing songs and altering the future is a bit much. Luana, however, doesn't have a fate, so it makes sense that she attracts people who don't like their future. Luana goes to see Hallam the White, who sends Luana to a monk named Father Ater, who seems to know about the magic that changes songs. So Luana heads to the good father's house and he's dead. He had some great info after all. Luana finds a monk and tells him of Ater's death for more information.
No, I knew that they were arguing, but I never imagined that it would lead to murder. Father Ater and his apprentice brother Wolf, they were inseparable, like a true father and son. It was a shared love of alchemy that brought them together. But since their work repairing the village well, they've been acting tense, even hostile. Just this morning I saw Ater fetching water, but now he's gone.
So Brother Wolf is a prime suspect in this case. Luana goes to Ater's desk and finds an empty box labeled for red crystals. And then she finds a journal entry that details that Windermere came to Ater and Ater lied about having the crystals. When she left, Ater went and hid the crystals. So Luana finds the cave and goes to collect the crystals. She gets most of them and then finds Brother Wolf, who seems to be a little faded by the crystal's power. Like, don't tell me you aren't using crystals, dude. Your head is lit.
Stay back. I don't know who you are or how you found me, but you will not have the crystals. They are mine. Don't make me kill another. The strange woman was right. She knew the crystal's power. That's why she wanted them, but we told her nothing. When she left, Father dropped the crystals back into the well, but they sang to me, told me to kill him and rescue them. Their voices, so beautiful. The maid was right. The crystal gives the power to end the pain. And now, I choose to end yours.
So Luana smokes him. Get it? Because he's laced with crystals. Anyway, she smokes him and finds the last crystal, and then heads back to White Hallam and gives him the crystals. White Hallam tells Luana the story of Sir Sagril. Now, Sir Sagril was drunk and dealing with a lot of ladies, and he got tired and went to sleep. Then he was awoken by a roar from a monster that was summoned to kill King Winston. So Sir Sagril got up, went to the monster's lair, and killed it, only to realize there were more monsters. Great story. Except it was pretty lame. I mean, based on the other stories that we've been living through, it's pretty much run-of-the-mill, but I can see why he thinks it's dope. With the crystals under his protection, the Maid of Windermere shows up, pissed that Luana foiled her plan.
Winston is with me, and he will stay with me until I deem it fit to return him. If the House of Ballads wishes to have its king, it must send its greatest warrior.
Wouldn't that be me?
Since I have all of them, that leaves you. Come, I wish to collect you as well. I will be waiting.
So, as the Sagril, Luana is gifted a resurrection potion and wished good luck. Since there is no song that tells the outcome, that's all White Hallam can do for now. I mean, when you think about it, the Maid of Windermere did all this stuff to get all these crystals so that she could change the stories. But with Luana there, she doesn't need the crystals. She just needs Luana. Luana is like the new crystals. You know what I mean? That's why the Maid of Windermere doesn't quite care about the crystals anymore and just wants to collect Luana. It's better than crystals. It's crystals with boobs and a butt, I guess. You could put Luana on a chain, stick it around your neck, and start a rap career, right? Luana confronts Windermere on her home turf, Windermere.
You've come. Wise. Wiser than those other fools in the House of Ballads. It is their inability to see beyond themselves that has brought them to this end. This is my realm, and any who seek to cross it must first face my challenges. The Wall of Thorns awaits. As it is in the telling, so it will be for you. Only a true knight of the House of Ballads may pass beyond the wall, and every true knight needs armor. Tell me, beloved, are your tales worth a minstrel's breath, or are you just dust waiting to fall?
She's the maid, so I assume it's her job to keep that place clean for all eternity. And that's probably why she's so pissed. It seems like she hasn't done her job in a while. Maybe she wanted to be a lame-ass YouTuber who recites the plots of video games. The song dictates she needs to go through trials to acquire the proper armor and then fill out Form A in triplicate. But don't hand it in yet because she's gonna need the information from that form to fill out Form B. Then after that, she must pay a small fee of $25.37 in cash, in exact change, because the Maid of Windermere doesn't have a card swiper and doesn't have a cash register. Sorry, I just had a flashback from dealing with the German consulate. I mean, you try to get your kids some German passports, you fill out all the paperwork, and then they just do everything they can to make it more difficult, man. Screw those guys. I'm glad I'm not German. Anyway, the armor thing was for real, though. So Luana heads through and finds Sir Aramir and Sir Kreth fighting each other. They are both under the influence and want to be champion of the story. Luana shows up like, so I'm the champion and I need your armor.
Need our armor? Is this a jest? You will never impress the maid. She is only interested in true knights of the realm. Perhaps you can help us choose, Sigral. Kreth and I were just fighting over who should be the maid's true champion.
Aramir clearly hasn't been paying attention, as the maid has been advancing on me so hard, I was about to call HR about it. Alright, time to give me that armor, fam.
Give me the armor!
Sir Kreth doesn't want any part of her, so that's that.
You have chosen. The maid can only have one champion.
Luana dons the noticeably weaker armor and makes her way back to Windermere.
Well, I grow more impressed with every head you lay before me. Well done. You rival even Sir Elswyn in your foolish arrogance.
The next trial is to face Sir Elswyn, as he is the guardian of Weeping Gorge. But Elswyn has been killed already, and probably by Aramir, and that should make defeating him easy, but the song dictates the champ has to battle him. Now, because this is all part of the story, you remember White Hallam gave Luana a potion, a resurrection potion? Well, guess what? Luana goes down to the Weeping Gorge and resurrects Sir Elswyn.
Ha! I have you right where I... Wait, what's the meaning of this? Who are you and where is my opponent? Oh, I see what happened. Blast! Perhaps next time. Really? I don't think so, Dustling.
Sorry.
As Luana heads down to Weeping Gorge, and Sir Kreth nuts up and confronts Luana.
Enough, mortal. You presume too much. This song does not belong to you. There can only be one champion, and his name is Sir Kreth.
You want me to whoop your butt like I did your homeboy? You're going to lose.
You had the looks of a brash coward from the start. I had a feeling it would come to this.
They battle, and then there is no more Kreth.
Alright. Asshole. It's time. Dummy.
So Luana goes into the door and Windermere is there. This is the place she does her mating in. She has one more proposal.
You are brave. No mortal has ever set foot in my domain. Isn't it wondrous? I've spent centuries whispering my wishes to the earth, the trees. The crystal has made it so. Never before has there been one worthy of sharing it with me. Do you fancy yourself a ruler? Join me and my enchanted beasts in this, the autumn of my kind.
Windermere tells Luana that her army is prepping to destroy all the songs. They are all on the grounds, just chilling. Waiting for the signal to go kick some fey booty, that's all.
Oh, I guess they're not killers here. Okay, whatever.
Luana enters in and runs into the actual Sagrel, the one Luana replaced in the songs.
You're not at all what I expected. I am Sagrel, Chancellor of Windermere. She said you were beautiful, although I have noticed that she has peculiar tastes. You're just in time. Our little army is building up quite nicely. I was beginning to fear that we'd actually have to execute the lady's plans, ludicrous as they are. Now I am but a prisoner of the maid. We all are. You see, this place, it's calm. It is only an illusion. The maid uses her strange crystals to pacify the beasts, just as she enchants our friends. We must destroy the crystals to earn our freedom, but they are invisible to all but the maid. It is her song that calls them.
Can I use the whistle?
The crystals are hidden around the village and forest of Summer's End. You cannot see them with the naked eye. They appear only when summoned by a musical tone.
So Windermere is making everyone high with the crystals. Luana finds and destroys them all using a special enchantment breaking flute. At that point, everyone under Windermere's spell goes back to normal. Everyone, including Windermere's army, who automatically turns and attacks Luana. They ain't just chilling anymore. She heads back to Sagrel, who is impressed that she has freed him and everyone else. He tells her to use the same flute to break the enchantment on Windermere's place. Of course, Windermere tries again to propose. I mean, she is literally proposing at this point.
It is time to begin anew, for we write the final chapter of the House of Ballads. Only when the memory of ancient glories has faded can new glory be forged. Everything you see, the castle and all that resides in it, could be yours. That includes my love. Consider it.
Instead, Luana pushes forward to rescue the council, and she faces Sir Ferrara, who has turned heel.
It's time to cross swords with one worthy of your talents. You have caused the maid much grief, and that saddens me.
How's that?
Then finds King Winston.
At last you've come. The maid has made her sick fantasy a reality. Everything she was has been warped by the Prismere crystal she holds so dear. It is difficult to tell if she controls it, or if it controls her. We must escape this place. The telling has failed us, Sagril. Nothing is certain. If we must. But I fear I have no role in this song now. The maid will be in the courtyard, where our ballad finds its end. Come, I will show you. Perhaps then I will find the courage that is required.
The Queen Bellmaid and Lady Olien, who also turned heel.
Look at this, Olaine. The maid's old keep still has vermin lurking in its shadows. Tell me, Sagril, is there a reason we shouldn't exterminate you?
There's no telling what the maid might do.
Have a good day.
So with the king saved and the rest of the council dead, Luana and the king head towards the final battle. But wait, the king has a confession to make.
I can't do this. I can't. You must understand. Every time I have faced the Maid of Windermere, we've both dangled by the strings of fate, puppets in the telling. Now she is free of those bonds. I would not even know how to face her. Before, my victory was assured. I have never known failure. This story is yours now, my friend. Take the king's token. You are the only one left worthy of possessing it. It was you she wanted all along. I believe in you.
Right. So Luana finally gets to the Maid of Windermere and asks her what her damn problem is.
All you have witnessed was for me alone. It was justice. Imagine a lifetime of bondage 100 times over, and you will know my suffering. You, though, you are special. You are one capable of comprehending such concerns. We too, we are misunderstood. We challenge the past and strive to rewrite the future. We are singing the greatest song of all. The Tuatha have taught me that power only comes with the willingness to destroy, to begin anew and tell new stories. And in Prismere, they have found the means to do so. I weep for what might have been. You and I, side by side, wielding the power of the crystal. But there can only be one hero.
You see here, this is a thing in writing that really bothers me. You can't have a sympathetic villain without tossing that last part in there where she's against your cause, you know? Like Magneto, he's sympathetic because he went through the Holocaust, because he was a Jewish, he saw his mom die, all of that stuff. And then all of a sudden they're trying to justify that he wants to say that mutants are the homo superior and everybody else, regular humans, are less than the mutants. It doesn't make any sense. So this is another situation in which the Maid of Windermere is right. I mean, this stuffy whole doing the same thing over and over again for years and years and years because she's immortal is wrong. She is in prison. You know what I mean? Just because she's fated to follow these stupid stories. And that would be enough to be okay with. But then it's just like, oh, and the Tuatha, I'm following the Tuatha, and they're going to bring Tirnock, and, you know, that's going to change everything for all of us. This is the only way. Okay, so this last sentence right there, you have to be like, no, you can't do that. Now I actually have to stop you. No conversation for this. No, well, Gadflow is wrong, but I see your point. Nothing like that. It's just swords pull out and then chop off her head if you can. You know what I mean? It kind of sucks. Anyway.
She really don't like those sprites, huh?
So they do battle, and when Luana whips her butt, Lady Windermere makes her last plea.
There we go.
Don't do this. I beg you. I seek only justice for what has been done to me all these many lifetimes. Don't I deserve as much? Don't we all?
I personally think that she has a pretty good excuse. Also, usually in games when you choose to end a person's life, it's a little anticlimactic. You just kind of stab or shoot them and then they fall to the ground and then that's it. Kind of like old kung fu movies. So you want to know what happens when you have some mercy, you know? So, after multiple advances, Luana finally says yes to being the maid of Windermere's significant other.
No longer are you at war with me for reasons you do not understand. You have seen the world as I have, as a realm of limitless potential. We usher in a new season, you and I. One where we rule the House of Ballads side by side. The maid of Windermere is finished playing the villain. Now go. I shall prepare a place for you. Our telling is whatever we wish to make it.
What does the king have to say?
The hero returns. But to what? You have, and the remnants of the telling scatter in your wake. Your presence here was the change I saw coming. It was the looming death on the horizon. I do not blame you, Sagrul. This world, this Amalur, is a realm of mortals. A kingdom of dust for transient souls on their way from one life to another. It is not a Fey world. It is not my world. Perhaps you and the maid will find reassurance in this volatility. I cannot. I will remain here to serve this house, as has been my role for many seasons. Now, as it was then, I am a servant of the House of Ballads.
And that's the end of the House of Ballads story. The end of these faction stories, the people just go, "Oh, thank you," and you kind of turn around. In Fable, they had the little story where they kind of like had the narrator tell you that the main character and the woman got married or whatever, and then you just kind of like move on with your life. Here, they don't even do that. They just let you move on with your life, which I guess is fine. The story was pretty good anyway. I kind of liked the way it threw the House of Ballads all into disarray just because they didn't know their fate and they were so spoiled by knowing it in advance. You know what I mean? But anyway, we'll move to the next faction story after this one. So I'll see you in about a week. Peace.